What's up, everybody? Welcome to podcast now. I'm Alex, and in this video, we got to talk about some pretty big Final Fantasy VII Part 3 news. A news, I think, item that shocked the world and, the bubble that we live in, of course, on social media. But we got the announcement today that Cody Christian, I actually believe he posted on his own Instagram, he posted a picture of himself, right? Headphones on, he's in the freaking zone, and he says, "So happy to be back with my bestie." And of course, you have a nice little image there that is supposed to be symbolizing the one, the only Cloud. So look, and that's all we got, right? We got the confirmation that he is in the recording booth, and I guess there's no wiggle room to like theorize, okay, well, maybe it's for a different game. No, this is clearly right for Part 3. So I guess why I'm here is to continue the conspiracy and will it into existence. Look, I mean, can we get this thing in 2027? I actually see articles, I think, bringing it up and kind of leaning that way anyway. Look, when it comes to voice work, I'm not going to pretend like I know the history of the entirety of this series, like Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. I don't know when they started in relation to when those games came out. If you guys know, please let me know in the comments. But what I will say, we do know like the voice stuff, it's kind of an ongoing process, right? It can last for years. Normally it can last right up until like the last 2-3 months before a game comes out. You're normally not in the booth like a few weeks, but you can be within like, say, 2-3 months of a game coming out. And again, the speculation has been 2027, right, to try to match up with the anniversary. I really think that's what they're going to try to do. And to have them start, I mean, we're in April. We're only in April. Well, we're actually quite far through the year already, but, only in April. And honestly, you got 2 years if you wanted to have them be recording the stuff for 2 years until the game comes out. I really think it's going to happen. And also, correct me if I'm wrong, the motion capture, I believe, for Part 3 started like immediately. Like I remember, different actors tweeting or putting on Instagram, whatever. I remember them doing it like immediately after Rebirth came out. You already had like the mocap people for I believe at least Tifa. I remember her like specifically, but several people saying, "Hey, we're already back at it." So I think they're just fast tracking it. And we've talked about it, here and there. I don't know what it means for Kingdom Hearts, by the way, with like Tetsuya Nomura, but I really think the plan, and maybe it's because of the sales, maybe it's because of the contract with PlayStation, how that's worked out, but then PC all of a sudden freaking explodes, and they probably see that and they say, "Oh dear God, okay, well, number one, we need to put this thing on PS5 or PS6 and PC day one at least, if not Switch 2, if not Xbox." But number two, we got to get these things out. And look, this is where I'll agree with that, right? I mean, is there a part of me that likes kind of spreading it out and almost kind of savoring these memories? Because once it's over, right? You never really get to live through this again. There's a part of me that very much enjoys it. But, there also comes a point where this just takes too long. To dedicate like 15 years of your life, if you're them or whatever it was, to make this trilogy, it is insane. I don't think it's actually 15 years of like day-to-day, literal work. But this took too long. It absolutely took too long from a development point, and even just from like us playing, to play a trilogy, which is really supposed to be one game, and to play it across what's going to end up being 7 years. And I mean, that's, by the way, that's already fast. They already do it. Like, I don't want to diminish their hard work and their excellence, because I think these people are honestly some of the better ones out there. Normal trilogies in today's gaming atmosphere would take freaking like 12 years. God of War Ragnarok is probably why God of War did it in the first place, right? Doing a duo instead of doing 3, because if you did 3 games, you'd be playing a trilogy of God of War over 12 years. And like, we used to do that in 4 or 5 years back 20 years ago, but it's different now. So bottom line, okay, I feel like they want it to come fast for a multitude of reasons. And I think just from the consumer point, like, yeah, I do think generally, again, we can have this like, okay, well, it's kind of nice to spread it out. I do think the vast majority of people would rather these things come out super, super close, back to back to back, and that's just not what we're getting. So I feel like pressure is on them to deliver this as quickly as possible, and I do think 2027 is the date. Is him being in the recording booth now any major indication? Honestly, I would say no, because, I mean, you could record for 3 years. Like, he could be in it now. He could record once every 2, 3, 4 months, and he could do that for 10 sessions or whatever, right? And he could be done in mid-2028. Okay, that could absolutely happen. Or he could do it for 2 years, do a couple less sessions and be in 2027. I'm hoping it's that one, right? I'm hoping this is a sign that, okay, he's in there pretty quickly, so maybe this means it's coming sooner rather than later. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on. I hope to see you all on the next one.